No, it's not clickbait, and yes, cheat meals really are holding you back and making it more difficult for you to stay healthy and reach your goals. Just not the way you might think. So here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with having a meal that's not on your typical healthy diet every now and then. It's perfectly fine to indulge yourself from time to time. That said, I'm here to say that if you're like most people, your approach to how you handle cheat meals is causing more problems than you realize. So how do most people treat cheat meals? They treat them as rewards. It's Saturday and you spend 5 agonizing days pushing yourself to eat clean and go to the gym. You deserve a reward for your efforts, right? And what better way to reward yourself than with a double cheeseburger, a serving of fries, and a Diet Coke? Because you know, you're still on a diet. Now, do you see the problem here? No, it's not with the meal, and no, it's not with the irony. The problem is with your mindset. Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard the phrase, make it a lifestyle, not a diet? Of course you have. Everybody's heard of it. Sure, it's cliche, but ultimately, isn't it what everyone should be striving for? Well, what if I told you that the mentality of treating cheat meals as rewards goes directly against this philosophy of trying to make healthy eating a way of life? I mean, think about it. When you're treating cheat meals as rewards, what are you essentially telling yourself? Well, 2 things. A, unhealthy food is the prize. It's a reward. It's the desirable object. You're essentially placing it on a pedestal. And B, that healthy food is a chore. Dieting is a thing that you don't want to do, but you have to do to get your reward later. It's the work that comes before the prize. But do you see how this frame of thought isn't necessarily the best when it comes to trying to build a healthy lifestyle forever? See, treating cheat meals like a reward is like a double-edged sword, only you get stabbed by both edges. And look, I'm not trying to sell you on some delusion that chicken breast and broccoli can be as tasty as pizza, or that you don't need junk food, you just train your mind, bro, to eat clean all the time. No, unhealthy food, unfortunately, is unavoidable for most people living in the modern world. You might have a party, you might have a social gathering, you might have a feast. And let's face it, yeah, unhealthy food is pretty damn tasty. Nevertheless, we don't want to create this huge dissonance between healthy food and junk food. So let's address the 2 implications that we mentioned above when it comes to treating cheat meals as a reward and see how we can correct them. Now first, we don't want to think of healthy eating as a chore. I mean, if you're trying to make it a lifestyle, it makes sense to try and enjoy it, right? And I know that some of you are probably rolling your eyes right about now, but here's the thing. If you think that dieting is super hard and super uncomfortable, you're probably doing it wrong. I made a video a few weeks back about why people can't stick to a long-term healthy diet, in which video I go into more detail about how you can change your approach to make long-term healthy dieting more feasible. And I'll link that video down in the description for you to watch it. But after this one, please don't ruin my view time. In a nutshell though, the major reason why most people can't stick to a long-term healthy diet is because they're trying to make huge leaps from where they are now and where they're trying to get. If you're a person with lousy eating habits, you have no business going from that all the way to trying to eat clean all the time in a span of a single week. You're not gonna be able to maintain that. It's just too much of a gap between where you are and what you're trying to emulate. You should be striving for smaller, more realistic improvements that will over time compound into large changes in your lifestyle. Again, more about this in the other video. Now I will put a small asterisk here and say that for a small percentage of people, dieting being difficult might be the only option. And I'm mainly talking about 3 types of people. 1, people who are trying to get into a really low body fat level that goes beyond the healthy normal range. And I'm talking about bodybuilders, models, or pretty much anyone that's trying to get into a really low body fat level. Number 2, people who need to go into an immediate, strict nutrition therapy, like for example, patients with an advanced stage kidney disease. And number 3, people who have some sort of condition that makes weight loss really difficult. For example, hypothyroidism. But even with these groups of people, there are still steps that they can take to make dieting a little bit easier. For example, you can focus on losing weight at a slower pace. Also, many conditions that make weight loss difficult are treatable, or at the very least treatable to an extent that weight loss isn't as difficult anymore. So even with these people, there are options to make dieting easier. And for the vast majority of us, eating healthy and being at a reasonable body weight should not be that difficult if you do it right. Now, the second implication is actually much easier to deal with. You just need to stop treating cheat meals as rewards. Simple as that. Does this mean that you can't have cheat meals? No, of course not. You're gonna have cheat meals. You're a human being, not a robot. You can even schedule them in advance if you know you have some sort of outing or event going on. But instead of treating them as rewards, treat them as just deviations from your normal healthy diet. You're not having a cheat meal because you need to be rewarded for your valiant efforts in trying to eat healthy. You're having cheat meals because you're a human, you have a finite amount of self-control and discipline, and because sometimes it's just unavoidable. If you just stop glorifying and overhyping cheat meals and just treat them as something that happens from time to time, you'll find that you'll think about them much less and you won't be craving them as much, which in turn will make it much easier for you to stick to a healthy diet. And look, I'm not saying that you'll never crave another chocolate again. I'm just saying that the whole process is gonna be easier. Okay, so to summarize, number one, stop treating a healthy diet as a chore and just try to make it as enjoyable for you as possible. And number two, stop treating cheat meals as rewards and just treat them as a necessity or just something that happens from time to time. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna be making more videos talking about this, more psychological side of nutrition, because I do think that it's a topic that doesn't get covered as much as it should. So if you're interested in that, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching the video.